if I'm inserting inside the block, means somewhere here, this line is changed and the second line is added. And if I'm at the beginning of block, I will, most of the time I will do this one, which means that the changed block is the last one, and we are inserting this position. Yeah, okay. So all this code, what it's doing, it's trying to optimize how I'm invalidating the Unicode data in a document layout, just to keep most of the stuff the same and not rebuild too much of the data. So it's a bit faster and a little bit more efficient. So there can be more stuff done because I can actually edit the Unicode data directly somehow. But I don't do that now. I just regenerate the data when the one character changes on a line. But as long as I don't have access to the data just yet, I'm only using the direct write high-level API. It's just has to do. So it will have some performance problems with really long lines, which is a problem with writing prose and writing normal text. But otherwise, with the code, it shouldn't be that bad. If you don't open jQuery, compress jQuery or something like that, and try to edit it. But then you can actually give it a try. I can download the ugliest thing in the world, piece of JavaScript code. Download jQuery. Migrate. Compressed production jQuery. Not a big deal, I think, with direct write, because direct write is extremely fast compared to what I've seen in other Unicode processors. But then, so I will have to do some stuff for other platforms. Probably not with the Linux text mode version. That is. It will be actually really fast, I guess, because there will be almost none Unicode processing, and it will just show directly whatever is in the buffer. Even though I have some ideas on Unicode support there, but I have to make some more changes. So let me do this one. This one should be optimized. So we will have an edit that's changed on one. And changed at the 0, so we are inserting before the first line. Let me see this way. Then I have to make the printf function. Although I really like how this works. Qdebug, because I don't have to specify anything. I will just stuff it to the stream and it will just print. It's something I really like for debugging, but then for error messages and all that other stuff I will need something that they can actually translate to other languages. Yes, I'm sorry, I will do that. I will go back to my 17%, which seem to be quite okay. I will just make the microphone to be a bit louder. Hopefully it won't peak. I will just check the stream here. Okay, it seems okay for me on laptop speakers. Just let me know. I will have to actually make tests for the document insert, but I'm just really pumped up with the possibility to actually edit the document right now. So I'm just doing it the old school way. I'm just debugging the live code, whatever happens there. So yeah, so the block 0 is I will print it before I insert, because at this point block 0 should be set as valid. Yes, so I have invalidated the block 0. Is that correct? Oh no, the test is different. I have to insert from the first position on the line. Yeah, now it's correct. And yeah, okay. So I have inserted. I've invalidated the. I kept the block 0 as valid, and moved it and prepended a new block that's invalid. I guess that's what happened here. Yeah, but I don't see the line, the third block. I will just double check it because this is extremely important to get right. I will do the tests, but at least for now, because I don't want this to go south. Low disk space, oh my god. So we have this one. Yeah, okay. This actually looks correct. Oh, this is so awesome. Hello, world. Or should I say? Oh, I don't have delete. Ah. Okay. I'm going for a smoke of victory. I'll be right back. Well, I will keep it here, so we can enjoy your next text editor. Should I buy better recording equipment? Well, I should perhaps. Okay. God, it's so fast. I can't believe it. I mean, this is as fast as a console on a Linux. As a text mode. Oh, it's getting slower. Is it? Well, not really. It's still fast. Okay. I will have to. I can only solve long lines with really good and maybe even a custom-made Unicode processor. So this all works. I don't have moving up and down yet. Because that just I wrote that stuff like a million times. But there's one thing I really love about the Unicode processor as well, is that it allows you to do this stuff that when you are at the end of the line, it just allows you to go to the next wrapped line. Well, it's because this is something that I think Sublime doesn't do at all, I guess, and it's bugging me really. Well, yeah, he rendered. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. When I'm at the end of the rep line, I will just when I hit right, I will just skip over the F, and that's something that's not really good with word wrapping. If you have it there, you need to have a way to actually express that the direction of caret movement. So if you are going right, it will actually stand on this one position, and the next will actually move it to the next line, same as here. Actually, I don't skip over the J. The situation is the same. I have one space here between these two words. That's why it's wrapped. I have to check how it's dealing with long words, because it should force wrapping the long words as well. But I don't know how it's done in direct write. But for this situation, a simple situation where you have just two words separated with a space that are wrapped, actually broken, two, you need to have this thing. It just feels natural. It feels like there's a actual heart, because it's the same as with it should feel the same as if it was a normal line. I call the lines that end with the line break, the heart break. Oh, heart break. I like that one. I call them blocks, and then those lines that are wrapped, I call them lines. That's something that needs to get a bit of used to using too, if I can say it like that. So it should work just like the same way, actually, because you expect it to work the same way. You don't want it to work differently. And this is really important for people who are writing normal text, or writing articles, blog posts, anything in there, because it's just too confusing to do it different. How we come up with things to program, it's really simple. You just have to be unsatisfied with the stuff you have and the stuff that you use to do other stuff. My first projects were just, yeah, I can do something like that. I can make a better copy utility for DOS, MS-DOS. And once I started doing that, I found out that the editor can be done better, because there are some things that I would handle better. And then you go to the yeah. We are actually all trying to fix some stuff. We are not really programmers. We are just repairmen. I'm trying to fix the world all the time. At least for the programmers I know, who have their job as a hobby as well. Are passionate and trying to actually fix stuff that is broken, and not add on top of the broken stuff. But you never know. Actually, you can end up with a even more broken software if you don't pay too much attention. But only thing you can learn is by making errors. So everyone who actually made something good made 100 bad things before. I bet it's the same for KCI. I bet he made bad software before, and that's why he's now such a great programmer. So there always will be more bad software, because even good programmers just were writing bad software at one point, otherwise they wouldn't learn. Okay, there's one more thing in a Hale that I haven't solved at all, and that's those are selections, and I haven't seen in Direct Write API anything that would help me with doing that, except for a completely custom layout, completely custom renderer that will actually give me yeah, Kellyman. Yeah, some people just don't go the full circle. They will just stop in the middle and keep producing bad stuff. But I guess it's mostly about being in a wrong community. You know, you have to be between people that actually care for what you do and want to use and want to have good tools around them. And if there's anyone making them, they will actually care about the guy and will try to make his work as best as it can be within that community. So if you are in a company that just doesn't care about users and only cares about effectivity of their programmers and making money, then you end up being in a company like Adobe or currently Microsoft, which is really sad because Microsoft used to care a lot. But then I don't want to KC up the stream, so we will have to wait for that until the midnight, at least midnight CEST. Okay, so let me just briefly check how can I deal with the selections. That's mostly about setting the, and I will have to also fix maybe this one bug, which also corresponds to another thing I wanted to do. So I will make some notes before I go further. Document layout and okay, the document layout should note the whole range of lines that has been layouted. so that the operation will only use range parsing. The operation will only draw what has been laid out. I don't know. I will just keep it there. Maybe somebody will laugh at it, and I will make his day better. But am I making you feel sad? It's not sad. Because only because people made mistakes we have stuff like Vim, or for people Emacs. That's just awesome, you know. We also have Clang, that's awesome. Or will be awesome once it starts producing good debug information for the debuggers. That's why we have STB libraries, that's why we have Casey and all that stuff. It should make you happy, because it could have been worse, you know. Also imagine you would be alone that is actually trying to make the software better. That's sad, but actually thanks to Handmade community we are no longer alone, and each for himself. Hello, Purposely Drifting. I see you are hosting me now. Thank you for that. Thank you really much. So, Purposely Drifting, I want to show you the what do I have currently, because I'm really happy about it. I'm actually currently able to edit the document, and I wish I will perhaps spend, which I hasn't planned, but I would like to spend some time on making a good build. Good build script that would actually allow you to try all this stuff. Because I already have the exe, of course, but it depends on some Qt stuff, and I don't want you to deal with all those DLLs and stuff. I think it will be there. There will be some DLLs maybe, because at one point, but I will try hard to get rid of those, at least for some releases. But I must say the speed is awesome. I mean, you can actually see it here. The rendering is less than a millisecond, and that's amazing. I can actually measure how much it takes to type one character, so I can see what's going on there. Health performance. Okay, good. I have the health performance there. I will just take this one. I don't want to have the rendering anymore, and I will just have a timer for type character, and because that will go the whole loop through starting another operation to invalidating, and I guess it won't contain the rendering, so maybe I can also leave the rendering in there, because rendering is done afterwards. It's not done immediately. So, and maybe even I can go for the whole window render, so we can see how much it takes. So one character is yeah, the insertion of character is around 0.1 millisecond. That's just amazing. Plus the rendering is around 1 millisecond, and that's just so fast, as fast you can maybe get, because I guess the same thing or very similar values are happening in a console, in the text mode. It actually feels like a text mode, and that's awesome. Yeah, I know people understand that, but there's a bit of motivation for me to actually finish the build within the 11 days, at least to some extent. I'm not sure about the scope of the build, what I will be able to do there, but definitely I want to have at least parsing for C, Lua maybe, and many other languages, because I can piggyback on already made grammars for TextMate that I can use with the parser I currently have there. That just placeholder parser that I would like to replace one day to have something different. And the date is motivating me to actually go forward and skip the stuff that I don't need to do, and to get it done to a good pace that I can just build on that later and focus on some other stuff. I will maybe be doing some small streams that will be long. I don't know, 8-hour long streams that will actually be focused on implementing some features on top of that, because I want all it to be available, all it to be done live, just to have the progress and just to let people see how it's done. Yeah, it will lag a bit, but then I have a really weird setup for a parser, because the parser is done. It's not doing its job in a separate thread. It's doing its job in a main thread, in the UI thread, and that's actually good for the implementation I had before. With the threads, you have to do a lot of synchronization stuff to actually get it to perform as well as within the same thread, because in the same thread you can actually you are not doing parsing and reporting the parsing stuff when your UI is busy. You are only doing it in idle time, and you can actually limit it to take, I don't know, 10 milliseconds maximum. So it will parse what it can within 10 milliseconds, report the stuff immediately without having to synchronize or go through any event loop, and you immediately have the results on the screen. And you can really well control how much you spend on parsing. But then I have other ideas for supporting the multiple cores machines, and that one will take much longer, because I want to do some really nasty stuff in there that will just busy loop the cores for a split of a second. But I guess I can make it really fast. I haven't done any tests so far. I have only knowledge from my previous editors that were using the thread pool for parsing, but I think I can make it work really well. So the only problem is that I also have optimized the most common case, and that is just typing the text. And when you're typing the text, the parser will actually happen immediately. Parsing will happen immediately when you type the text, so it will slow the typing the text a bit down. But the parser is still really fast. I mean, the parser I currently have is really fast. It will slow it, I don't know, by 1 or 2 milliseconds. But then you have the results in one go. So when you are, because each time I change the text, the Unicode processor will has to process the text, has to split the text, has to apply the styles from the parsing, and when it's done later, when it's done, what's the name? What's the word? Well, when it's done deferred. Later, you actually rebuilding the Unicode data twice, because you do it once when the text is changed, and then the second time when the parser goes through the text and reports the formatting. And usually Unicode processors are actually throwing away everything they did for the text before, and they are rebuilding it again, which is not really great way, but I guess DirectWrite has it optimized, so you can actually do it better. So having the parser do its job on the line actually editing, having it done immediately, you will have a control parsing for the most common case immediately, and you don't have to do it twice. You don't have to deal with the Unicode data twice. So that should do the job really well. Yeah, I was studying a bit how the branch prediction works on processors, and I think there are really interesting algorithms to actually, because parsing is usually the next step is usually dependent on the previous step, on the previous results. But if you can actually do the busy work that is mostly about lexing, if you can do it for every possible branch, and you can do it on multiple cores, and then just go through the tokens, so you don't have to deal with the text and you're only dealing with the sequential memory, you can get it work really fast. So that's the idea behind the new parser engine I would like to add there. And also the parser engine will just provide you with means of giving you the chunks of text, and it will be your job to actually parse it. You can use C++ to make your parsers, which I will use for parsing C++ code. Hopefully I will be able to parse it, not only lex it, but I'll also parse it for having advanced information in the editor. So for example, it can do different things when you are within the string. For example, like you can hit if you are in a string and you hit control return, it will insert just a escaped sequence. Also when you hit return, it can also, I don't have remove yet, but let me just type some stuff. When you hit return here, it can also do, I'm not sure what's the correct, but I will use a different editor because I don't have a remove and I don't type that well. So it will do this thing, it will break it. The same thing with the macros. So once you have that information about the context, and you don't need that much information, you actually need only the blocks and the main blocks, which are structures, which are functions, comments and strings. That's the most stuff you need most of the time, and you can do a lot of stuff with it. Because with Hale, it'll be, you will define command as if it was as if you were in a CSS, so you can say something like source C string double quote it and map it to some kind of a function. I will use Lua for this, that will do something to the scope, where you can actually take the string. You can ask the scope function. Scope is a function that is given to you when you are running the command. So you can ask for a string that will actually go through the current scope in the application where the caret is, where your main caret is, and will actually gain the string for you. So you can actually then go and do something to it. You can actually replace it. You can do whatever you want, but you have this scope information about where you are in the document and what you can do with that. This is something that Handmade did some years ago. I don't know, it's maybe 7 years ago. but he didn't. But he only used it for code. But I'm also going to use this scope things, scope paths and scope matching for the UI as well. So you can actually have a Vim style modes inside that are completely under your control. So typically, if you are making I will now not remember any Vim commands, incidentally, but if you go with a Vim command that has, I don't know, I will go with ABC, that will actually each command, if you will enter a command mode, will actually create a new mode in so I'm in a command mode, then I will enter a mode that knows that there are B and C or B and D. Say you will hit B, enter the mode B, and you are actually building up a stack of modes from which you can parse the next command that is there. And that's actually the idea for Vim-like modes in Hale. So it's little tiny modes, micro modes, if I can say that, that will allow you to build up really good stuff just from really simple basic scheme of having all applications to follow some kind of a scope path that is defined by actually every place in a application can be described by a scope path. So for example, if you have line numbers, its scope will be something like app window, panel, what's then there? It's a document, and if the document is source code of C, and then you have gutter, excuse me. So this is the scope path for the gutter. So we can actually say something like that the color of the text is blue. But if you will enter any mode, I will use the A mode. I can use A. So when I'm in an A mode, I can use a different color, you know, and you can have a basic color that is applied anytime. You actually don't have to specify all this. You just need this part, because this is, you don't need to match the whole scope path. So you can have a green color as a base, and once you enter the A mode, A micro mode, you can use it, change it to blue. So if you hit enter the command mode and then hit A, you will actually change the color of the gutter, of the line numbers. And you can do a lot of stuff with that. Really a ton of stuff. Actually, there will need to be a lot of optimization behind that, because currently in the previous prototype, this all scope matching works through string matching, but in the end I would like to convert each string to a number, to keep them in one table, in one big table, and then only use that to match. So it will be like matching, I think 32 items in a scope path is enough for any kind of use. So we'll be only matching 32 integers. Yeah, it's based. The idea is based on a CSS and on cascading, but you not only get the layout specification, but you can also do other stuff. You can do, for example, on mouse click and apply a function to it. So once we are in A mode and we are clicking on a line numbers here, you can actually have again way to handle the mouse clicks, and you can do ton of stuff with that. It's still mostly an idea with the mouse clicks and that stuff, but it already works in a prototype with standard shortcuts and stuff like that. It's just amazing. You can actually do a ton of stuff with it. I actually haven't found any way I couldn't do, because most of the thinking that user does especially programmer, is actually stack based. You're actually in one state and then you are moving to another, and from that you are moving to another state, or you are going back up. And that's how usually programmers think. So the idea of having the same thing expressed in a UI and the way you customize the UI should be matched in this way. Also, you will need a bit of UI response, so you will know that you are in A mode or B mode or C mode, whatever you want it to be. But then that's my task to do, and all this is just the core. You can just do a lot of stuff with the core of the application, and all my other functionality that I will add on top of the core will be my example implementation of the editor that you can actually use, because it will actually provide the same stuff as Sublime does, or as most of those standard modern editors do. And then I will want to focus on what Vim does or Emacs does, and try to work with that with the scheme. Yeah. So it was an unexpected short talk about my ideas, but I still do have a really fast and incredible way to type text to the document. Oh, we have a bug there. Yes, I guess this is the problem of... No, it's not. It's not a problem, because I have this tiny thingy that's when excuse me. When the block doesn't fit into the view, it's not rendered at all, but that's just a plus minus one thingy somewhere in the code. It's just too easy to fix for me to actually worry about at this point. I'm happy actually I get to do these micro talks, because I need to learn explaining stuff, and this is a really good way to actually start practicing, because I think I will be better with writing stuff, because that's what I usually do with English. I don't speak too much. So okay, what's the next thing we need to do there? What's the next one? I'll close this one. I will just switch it really fast to use the light version of the font, because I like it more. I like it better. Oh, there's one. Yeah, this is a slight of a problem that this character, this special character, this Unicode symbol that is above the basic plane, actually used from a different font, I guess. It's not the Nitty font. I don't think that Nitty has defined these symbols and these characters. So when I hit enter, it's actually changing the line height. So the line 8, what is left on the line 8, it's slightly shifted up. If you can see that, I'm not sure. And that's something that I will solve by using typographical grid. That is also a thing that is not really often done in editors, but the basic idea is that you split your whole layout to a regular grid, especially these lines. These horizontal lines are important in that, and you place everything on there, and you also care about the size of the font. So maybe there wouldn't be any size you can use within the editor for headings or other stuff that you can use for your text or for your styles. You will have to follow some kind of predefined scheme that will actually make it all match, make it all fit within this one grid. So this stuff like moving by 1 pixel won't happen. And also, if you will then use headings and everything else, we will keep the vertical rhythm that is really important for the eye, for the focus, and for how people are used to reading text and actually processing the information. The regular stuff is really important. So I will fix that later, because that will need some other stuff to be done before. And now I wanted to take a look at rendering the selection just for a few seconds. But I will take a tiny break just to think about what I can do. Oh, 10 hours yesterday. Breaks not taken into account. Okay, 10 hours is quite good. I try to make more today, as long as I will be able to keep the. Just need to be able to cycle the stream like 4-hour blocks somehow. Okay, selection. Let us investigate. Dark night. Selection. It's the background. Okay. this one now. Hale. Well, I can define the limits here because this is exactly what I was looking for. Fine. R32 max. I'll just do this later. Oh, it's automatic. I think I already have means to tell the dependencies. Yes, I have. Most of the dependencies are still only in a test, which is okay. And then I have some small stuff here, basic things. So it's mostly, yeah, and the vector is still there. And yeah, I have the STD as well. And then there's Qt stuff, dependencies. Okay, I guess it's not the best dependency tracker, but it does. Yes, that's all the queues, but I have a queue share pointer that I don't want to use anymore. I don't want that use thing. Okay, so I'm keeping the dependencies on other libraries as small as possible. So I don't need to write a comment for that because I will do that later anyway. And yeah, I will need that. I will need this one. I'm not sure. This one is unsigned as far as I know. Okay. Sorry, I didn't get this. Yeah, it's there's one point where I'm defining yes, this is it. R32. R32 max. Well, I guess I will be still dependent on the standard library ones when I'm using direct TD and direct write. I will have to just check whether it adds or the dependencies, but I guess it adds on the purpose. So I will just go ahead and won't use the R32 but rather Microsoft's own float type. It should be down there. Well, I guess I can actually change. I will do an assertion in well, I can do R32 as long as float is the same size, the same layout. Is there any way to H? Size of R32. Size. I don't think they will ever change it, but just to be sure about that. Up. Setting up the ranges here. He's not doing the backgrounds at all. Oh, good old solid color brushes. Oh, good lord. Okay. Yes, the time of live music is gone, but I guess it's still archived on Meblow's Twitch, hopefully. Yes, this is it. Well, we can actually give it a go one more time. Why not? Why not? But it won't be live, you know. Doesn't have the magic of being live. But it will be really... I'll just boost it up a bit. What's TUI framework? The Potato League? Anything that has UI in it, I'm interested.
Yeah, it depends on what you're meaning by coming. And I don't seem to talk in OBS.
Oh, Mr. Potter mentioned that's amazing.
That was kind of like the loudest. Well,
I'll get back to you after I say bye to Mr. Kalimian.
I don't know if that was coming through for you guys. Like, I don't know if it's...
Okay, so see you later, Mr. Kalimian. Hopefully without the headache. So how did you manage to make it work, Mr. Four Dimension? I'm interested. Are you going to stream about it?
Yeah, I don't think I will peak actually, because I don't play all that. In fact, Okay, so I'm still outside, so I can actually talk. But you can hear that on the SoundCloud.
Hopefully the volume is okay. I will just let it play on the background. Okay, okay. Actually, that's the similar way I'm going to implement it. I currently don't have the batch edits, but I have something I call an edit transaction that you can wrap any series of operations. Typically, if you have a multiple cursor support, you can wrap it, and you are inserting several characters to the document on various places. You can actually wrap it inside an edit transaction that is then taken care of by the undo. But I think undo only does only remembers the position where the whole transaction begins and where it ends in a stream. And when I'm reading that, I encounter the special entry to that the transaction has begun. I'm going through all of those edits and apply them in a given way, whether it's undo or redo. That's the way I'm doing it. I'm serializing all that information to just a binary stream, basically, that I can also then save back to
So that was it.
back to the drive in case it gets too large.
And yeah, it's got no title, like I say. So look at the chat. Fiery's phone is flashing.
But the batch edits are really
Reading it.
maybe the most important thing with the editor that provides
So,
advanced
Yeah, I
commands,
mean, what I was actually thinking for disposable, actually,
because otherwise you
um,
wouldn't be able to undo it reasonably well
I was
as a
going to
user.
not bother with the, you know, the bit that's down here. I was going to think of not bothering with that bit and just go in with the stuff like was up here. My mum's going back in, so I can't talk.
The Geek Pirate, hello! Yeah, okay. Yeah, actually drive backing is not that important when you are in alpha stage, because people wouldn't be using the editor for such a long time that it builds up, so it doesn't fit in the memory, or it will create problem with the swapping to disk and stuff like this, and problems like that. Excuse me. So yeah, I will be doing that later. I'm just storing it in a buffer to memory, and keeping it that way, at least for the alpha version. Because yeah, and I didn't plan ahead too much because I already did it for several times. I know that scheme just works, so it's not that I actually was planning. I never planned to do stuff. I just go one thing at a time and see what's the best next thing to do. And I would be happy to actually start a project where I can use compression oriented programming, because at this point I'm not really doing that. I'm not doing compression-oriented programming because I just know what I have to do, and I only have to deal with the differences between object-oriented programming and the new way we call C+, or the C way to do stuff and implement all those foundation functions to actually replace STL and D7. Always faster. Oops, the ultimate passes. Is he doing the he would be afraid, yeah. Abner will be afraid. Okay. Oh, maybe I love this one. That reminds me that I need to do a little thing thingy with this hand, and that's Pum 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 pum. Pum 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 pum. Okay, so I'll keep Niblo open and we will play him later again. Now, first thing I need to do is to lower my volume back. Back. Good. This is on the line, then it's strike 2. I know this guy from somewhere. Oh yes, I know this guy from these books. Oh my god. Did he really? Oh, did he really? Oh yes, he has a Microsoft tattoo on his arm. But then he wrote a ton of books on Microsoft Windows, so I guess it's only natural that he has a tattoo there. A Windows tattoo. But this one is actually... I'm not sure it's from 95 or was it also in 3.1? It was 3.1 though. And stuff before. Well, you know, if you live with yeah, it was there. Microsoft Windows 3.1 and maybe before. I don't know. Maybe Windows 2. It was awesome. I don't know if you, but I really love this stuff. Jesus, that was amazing. I had this application back when I was young. Actually, I want it now. I want that application right now. Designer. Windows 1, 89, 3.1. Yeah, it came in 3.1 and I guess in 3 as well. And then it was slowly gone. It was 95, maybe 98. And they were getting rid of that. And now it's completely different story with the Windows 8 logo. Yeah. But then, you know, you love it so much. There's nothing about him, it's just his work. I'm interested in him. Is this one? No. Hopefully he didn't. He isn't responsible for designing direct to the API, because I wouldn't like him that much. But I have a lot of books from him that I want to read. I haven't read them, but I heard those books are really great in Windows programming, so I guess he's working with Microsoft really closely. So he used inline object. I will have to open this one twice because I want to go back and forth in the text. I guess he did. Why would it do that? Why would you implement it with an inline object? I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. So I will have to make my own render class that's with the interface that DirectWrite needs to do this stuff, but then I can optimize a ton of stuff, I guess. I can just directly access the formatting information and split the text as I want it, just not having to change my internal formatting arrays to how DirectWrite wants it. I can just use them directly in there. That would be awesome. It would be so awesome. Because I hate converting stuff just because of the API. This one, I love these questions of yours. Purposely drifting, you think it's a temporary ink? I don't know. The guy looks really serious about this stuff. Potato leak. Maybe I can give you some of my ideas on tools I want to make. Maybe you can use them if you want. Some things I would really love to have at some point. And I guess it's not only me. It's because I don't know if you know Ludum Dare or Ludum Dare or whatever it's called. And if you go here to the tools section and you take a look, these are usually the tools that are used there. If you don't know what I don't know how it's pronounced, I will again use my good old friend and load him there. Okay, so it's that. And guys that are creating games in really short times. I think it's 48-hour jam, and then there is a long one. That is a jam that is I don't know, 72 hours or something like that. It happens twice, or yeah, I think it happens twice a year. The next one is in 7 weeks, which gives you a good time to actually do something about this. And they are using these tools to actually make their games. I mean, some of them have different tools, but this is the basic of what people use. And then there is this thing. It's called Chronolabs, and there is also Glabs, but both are equally bad. Yeah, I'm talking Gludem there, and I'm talking I'm speaking to Potato League, because he's looking for an idea for a project he wants to do. So I'm trying to give him some of my ideas I wanted to do for my tools, but it would be great if somebody else can pick up on that and try something else. So yeah, the Chronolabs is no longer even available, but I guess it's somewhere on Google Code. Yeah, it's here. I think I have Chronolabs somewhere around here. Yes. Okay, run it. No, I don't want it to check for updates. First off, it's ugly, and then it doesn't really work for me when I do Ludum there, or when I do any kind of stuff that I want to have time lapses to be made. Oh, I did the shake thing, TM. Great. Thank you, Windows. That's really helpful, because that's exactly what I want to do. God. First off, I don't know whether it is capturing or not, because sometimes I just need to deal with life and go away, and I want the time lapse to be only from the stuff I work on. So I don't know when it's minimized. You just don't know what is going on. You see just this one when I started. You just don't see any change there. You can actually always go here, stop and start the capture. That means that the first frame of every capture will actually contain the Chronolabs window. So this is one of the, and it also has some video encoder that you cannot customize, and it's already really shitty. It's really badly set up. It just uses FFmpeg, and there's not a big deal to actually allow people to specify the parameters if they want a better quality of the video. And there's a schedule, and you don't need that too much. Annotations as well. Audio, well, this is just the recoding that you will just use a video source and audio source, and it also works over FFmpeg. So, but these two you don't really need for the first version. Having a good time-lapse software that shows me what it does and doesn't do anything more that I really want, except for really small stuff, just starting the capture and stopping the capture. Ideally, you can use a hotkey, but then you never know, because hotkeys on Windows are just bad. So maybe that's one of the projects. Yeah, but I don't want to turn arrow off, because I love the shadows under the windows, and I also for the stream I'm having this thing that is relying on DWM. So I don't want to turn Arrow off because I like some aspects of Arrow. So there are many tools. If you will take a look at anything that the guys do in a Ludum Dare, you can actually find a lot of stuff you can do better, and there are also small tools, small stuff that, for example, still isn't a good packaging tool for Love 2D. Like you cannot. There is some shell script that just doesn't make sense for Windows, you know. And most of the games are played on Windows, so you don't have for this project. This is what I use to create prototypes of games. It's a great framework for Lua, and it still doesn't have it because you end up with a bunch of Lua files, and there is a way you can actually connect them to the Love 2D.exe and create your own game. That sits only within one exe file. Okay, excuse me. And there is no packaging tool that can do that. And people need that. I mean, it's really important stuff to have for a framework, and this one is really awesome. It's free, it's open source, and it's being maintained all the time. It's still being maintained, and and I think the community deserves to have a good tools built around Love 2D. There are not many games done with Love 2D, but I guess it's mostly because there are almost none tutorials, and it's a bit hacky. You need to know what you are doing, especially with packaging the application. It's not as simple as clicking a button on in Unity, you know. Yeah, the shake is just bad. Okay, so where was I? Character format specifier. Set foreground branch for the text range. Set underline for the text range. Get strike through, set strike through. What it does. Is it something interesting? I don't see the documentation here. Set formatting, which is, I guess, some kind of a private protective function. Or that. Okay, so that's something I don't want to use just yet. But this is a really nice article. I'm starting to like it, so I will note it down. Selections, rectangles, custom inline objects, custom renderers, and format specifiers. Yes. So that's to see that. I don't know, D7, if you are watching this, but I guess I will be able to get rid of the direct write dependency, or at least the stupidity on for the brushes. I can just implement my own stuff here and get rid of those. And D7, oh god. You're so fast, so very fast. Set foreground brush. Set foreground brush, underline, strike through, underline, strike through. Yeah, I found it convenient to consolidate them all in the... Oh, good lord. Oh, good lord. Maybe this guy needs to work out real application, I don't know. Because making the dependency on a solid brush is just nonsense. Yeah, I can. It seems like I can define my own renderer for the direct write that wouldn't have the dependency on a brush, not in the interface. I can just store U32s for the colors, and then just deal with that when I'm rendering the text. Because I don't need colors to actually know the character positions in Unicode text, so I can leave that to be done later. And if that can be done, it will really simplify the API and the dependencies in the code. And hopefully no other Unicode Unicode processing library wouldn't have such stupid dependency. Because what I really need is just a way to say that the foreground color will be this color, store it somewhere, and then use it when I'm going to render the text. Well, I hope to. Hopefully it'll work, because I guess I will need to do that stuff, to do the custom render, because direct write, I don't know why, doesn't have support for background colors and rendering. I guess it's because most of the people need it, don't use it, and then those who actually use it have their own means of specifying those. So they are actually enforced to do their own renderer. But it doesn't look really bad to do. It's a lot of calls to direct 2D and direct write, but then it seems straightforward. It's nothing I cannot do. But there is a bit of a problem, because I'm not sure, because this will take maybe half a day, and I mean 4 to 8 hours to actually get working with all that stuff. I will be going through making my own renderer. Actually, I think with Hale right now I don't have much libraries. I mean, the code that I was working on the whole marathon only has dependencies on Windows default stuff, which is a direct write, direct 2D, and then standard user and kernel and all that stuff. I have some dependency that is easily removable on STL. That's just some stuff like this, like stuff I can just find out how it's implemented and do it correctly, or just use a constant, because I know what platform I will be targeting with the first builds. then I can build on top of that. And there's what other dependencies are there? There are some small dependencies on Qt, and it's like this one. It's in a document for format range for a text layout. I won't need that anymore because I will just remove that. There are some strings, and most of the dependencies are in the tests where I was comparing how fast is standard Qt string compared to my own implementation. So there's nothing interesting in there that cannot be removed. I can just comment out this stuff, and it's no longer dependent on. There are some false positives in the dependencies because it's just a simple find or grab command that is actually calculating those. There's QSharp pointer. This will all change because I haven't done the parsing yet. I have QDataStream, which is maybe the biggest dependency on Qt, and QDataStream is just a really stupid simple thing that writes a binary stream to memory, and that is really easy to replace with because I only need to write a string and U32 in streaming way. I was testing the Q string against the STL string. It goes against the STL string and found out that Q string is actually faster. For the stuff I was testing, it was just randomly inserting 160,000 random inserts into a string. It was the test. And I wanted to see how fast my implementations of a document buffer are. And those and in that case, I mean, I didn't expect anything. I didn't expect any optimizations to be done for that kind of a use case. I just want to have some kind of reference to what I was doing. But just for the information, the basic string was able to do. I mean, the STL and Qt were really close to each other, but Qt was always a bit better, and it was not much. It was a few tens of milliseconds on that amount of data, and the strings were doing the work in something close to 1 second. So it was 160,000 inserts in 1 second, while my older buffer for the document did it in 40 milliseconds, and my new buffer does it under 3 milliseconds. The same amount of work. So I just wanted to have some kind of a referential value about what amount of time am I saving, and the test will actually trying to work the same as a programmer would work on a document. So it was choosing a random position in document and a random word that is typing, and then it typed it character by character. That all resulted in 160,000 insertions. And also, what's important to note is that my new buffer doesn't depend on the size of a file. It can deal with any kind of file with the same speed. Well, almost same speed. There is still something I need to solve, but at the end it won't. It's not a hard thing to do actually, but at the end it can edit any kind of any file size with the same speed, which is actually awesome. And there's other properties that I will maybe mention on some demo stream, when I can actually show that stuff. I can open, I don't know, 1 GB file and show how it performs over a 1 GB worth of code in one file. That will be interesting to see for me, and also to measure, and maybe find other ways to optimize that use case. Other properties also which I really like and always like to mention, is that I can use memory map file with my new buffer. It's compatible. You can actually wrap the memory map file with the buffer, and from that point on you actually don't need to load anything. The loading speed is as fast as mapping the file to the memory, and you also, when I'm loading a document from the if you are only talking about the buffer, the speed is I have the idea of optimizing that. First I will map the file to the memory, will show and render and parse everything from there, and then on the background I will slowly load the file. Normally I will create a copy of the file in the memory and remap slowly on the background. I will remap the buffer to actually point to that. So even for a 1 GB file which you want to edit whole in a memory without file mapping, you will get instant response and instant ways to edit the text, and you can jump around however you want. But then I'm using my internal encoding, which adds to the loading time in general for the Hale, and that I want to resolve by having a real-time conversion between any encoding and the Hale internal encoding. So even if I will load, I will map the UTF-8 file to the memory, I will make a bridge that will actually make it look like if it was converted to Hale encoding live. Those are ideas I want to use for loading large files. Of course, you then have to parse the file, which I hope that the idea I have for the parsers to work on multiple cores will actually help there a ton. So I will see. There's a lot of stuff to do, but I need to first deal with the direct write to get to those features. But I haven't seen it done with the mapped file and with the loading, because I want to have some kind of a tiers that will define what happens to the file. I don't know, if the file is under 10 megabytes, I will just load it directly, load to memory. I don't know, 100 megabytes, it will do the file map, and then slowly, and then background load, and anything above that will go for it's a file. Oh, okay. We'll do just the file mapping. I mean the memory mapping, memory map, and this will be a bit slower because it will have to actually do the conversion on the background. But then oh, did you? That's nice. That's nice. So this is the plan to do. I don't know whether the tiers will stay like this. I guess I can measure what the speed of the drive is and decide on that to actually provide the best experience based on some statistics. Because you can just measure it really quickly, you know. I mean, you will quickly know that the drive you are writing to is really slow, or it's sufficiently fast, and and then you can actually decide what you will do. I also have to make some measurements on memory mapping in Windows, and I will see. Yeah. So for the libraries, there is one more library. Two more libraries currently that I depend on, and those are Lua. That is actually obvious because I want to use Lua at least at the first implementations of Hale, the example implementation to configure it, and I use Oniguruma for regular expressions for the current parser implementation, and I'm not sure how long that will stay because I want to make my own simplified regular or a parsing expression grammar library that will do the stuff I need to be done with the parsing and help people to create parsers for Hale in some way. So there are not much dependencies on anything actually, only except for the direct write and direct 2D. I'm not doing multi-threaded parsing right now. I plan to do some sort of multi-threaded parsing, but the parsing has to be generalized so that it will only provide you means of getting the text from the document, and parsing it you will have to provide your own. For parsing it you will have to provide your own parser, but there will be means to make it really fast. So the core will actually support me ways to make the parsing in multiple threads, so that the core will actually know that you are doing the multiple thread parsing and will optimize for that. So I will take a little break. I will be right back, guys. So that's I think it's, but I still haven't found that background brush code there. There's a full rectangle. Oh, so he's hacking that. Is he? No, he isn't. But I can actually hack it because I don't need multiple underline counts. And in that way I can just fill the rectangle and hopefully it will draw behind. I'm not sure where it's drawing the underline, whether it's on top or on the bottom. Underlines, underlines. Because here I can get the correct information about where to put the background rectangle for selections. Get metrics, so this is it, this is the thingy. So it will first draw the rectangle, then the glyph. Specifier, so we are getting our specifier that is passed out. Oh, client drawing effect. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Yep. Good. Okay. So I will note this down. The ground rectangles. Drawing using custom render. Use draw with from. How's the custom? Oh damn. Tool is here. Sorry guys. Okay, so that's solved. At least for now, we will have to do without selections, at least for a day or two. So what's the next thing on my list? What can I do next? What should I do next? Oh, this one. So we have this one, we have one cursor. I'm not sure I will be doing multiple cursors just yet for the alpha. I will just leave that out. Layout updates. These are versioned. Relayout. Yes. I will put that down here because there's some good optimizations for how I notify other components of document being changed. We have scrolling. Okay, scrolling is the next thing to do, so we can remove this stuff. Yes, and then we can do this stuff. This will be part of custom direct renderer. Selection and the ground rectangles. We will do simplify, get rid of standard, ID right. Text layout. And replace formatting with our own. Get rid of dependencies of public API dependency on ID2v1 solid. I'll call it just a brush. Only use it in drawing. Text format should be simple struct without dependency. Okay, that's just part of this one. Yes. Move this back, move this there. Good. So scrolling. Scrolling. So what do we need to do there? We need a message for mouse wheel. That's the first thing because it's best tested with the mouse wheel. And now for the mouse wheel, there's a really ugly trick to make it work, at least for now. Maybe I will find a better trick. It's all just magic inside Windows API. So, WM wheel, or is it mouse wheel? It's a mouse wheel, okay. Yes, so we will have to keep the wheel delta and that add on top of that. And once the wheel delta reaches 100, and 20. Then we will do this. We will know how much we need to scroll. But then this one was used only for non-smooth scrolling. So I guess I don't have to do that. I will just have to make a mapping between the delta and how much I want to scroll, which is actually based on 120. I guess the best thing to do is what? So I will scroll over 3 lines, and I guess that's my settings in a system. So I will deal with the system settings later. But for now, actually he's not even doing the... I think I have a Microsoft mouse somewhere which has the smooth scrolling wheel that I will use, but this looks like I will have to do it anyway with I'll have to deal with the delta stuff anyway. Okay, so let's do this stuff. WM, it's not the keyboard. Mr. Cohen, it's not the keyboard. It's the general stuff. It's here. Welcome back, Andrew. At least I get to say goodbye. You will. No, it's not a big deal, you know. Do whatever you want, guys, in the chat. It's yours. It's all yours. So I will get these two. This is used from a Windows X, I guess. Windows X. Windows X. Yes. Disposition. Operam. And goes down to integer, so these are integers. It's Y. We won't use those just yet. We will just go to the default panel and default document view. I will also take these key state W value. That is a long word. That is a word. This is also a word. I guess. Get real data. Yeah, it's a short, so I can use the word. Thingy. Is it defined? Yeah, unsigned word. Unsigned short. Yeah, I won't do that. I will do this one. The low word is going for what? It's a word, okay. It's a word, but this one, the delta, will actually positive and negative. So I can just go and do this. And I will change it to R32 is undefined. Yeah, it's a Hale one, 32. Yes. God! I just hate this, so every time I switch to be right back screen, I have to press Control Alt Shift and 2 and it's not eating the 2, so it inserts it randomly to my code, and now I don't know where it is. I guess it will be somewhere around here. Shit, I will now have to find 2 somewhere. UI. It's not there. Damn. Current project. Search. Guess it's 2. Try it. I will maybe try the whole search. Here it is. Damn. God. Okay, so we have it like this. Our text is no longer rendered. That's amazing. I don't even know why. What happened there? Oh, I know what I changed. Hale, R42. Let's it. Is it this one? this. Oh, yes. It's all the mouse wheel works. And line. So what we will do there is that we will store in Windows specific Windows author specific structure for the window. I will store delta for now. There is to create a way to do that. Window implementation wheel delta also equals this one. So wheel delta will be yes, and then I will need to do just 120. So 32 angle equals wheel delta slash 120 32. This wheel delta. Right, no. Alt W2X, Alt W2Y, Alt W2 angle. We'll have to normalize that somehow after the fact, but depending on different platforms, I'm not sure how Meg implements it, so I will have to take a look there. Video scroll by. So now we will just go to do find panel by X and Y. I'll just go for the first panel. Yeah, I will go for the panel document view, and I will call document view scroll by, and we go by do we actually know yeah, we don't have the other direction, we only have the one, so yeah, I will have to do that later, maybe in my own bounce handler, but that we have only one direction, so angle X and R32 angle delta. X and Y. This one's scrolling, so go for 0 and angle. It should work. Point view, scroll by. And delta Y. X for now, delta Y times R32 line height is, let's say line height will be 18 for now. To use default line height from the typographical grid. Scroll amount is to use operating system settings for default scroll amount. So it's line height times 3, we'll go for 3 lines, just multiply okay, now so we don't have anything implemented, we have this one scroll by the XDY, scroll behind the XDY, okay. And here we will just say document layout. I will actually merge these two together, so document layout will be actually platform implementation of the document view, so the phone will have this spaghetti here anymore. Scroll by, view layout, the X and the UI. Okay. And we'll do that to set viewport. We'll scroll to, we'll have a scroll by instead. That works. Where is this one defined? Go for scroll by. scroll by, and we are going to do this stuff. So the scrolling. I don't know, Mr. 4 Dimension, what you did for the scrolling, but for me the scrolling with word wrapping and different line heights and all that stuff, it's just a nightmare. And I currently do a really optimized way to do it. And it's a bunch of really a ton of code. It's not a bunch, it's a ton of code actually there. I don't know if you have it optimized somehow. I guess you have. Hale. It's not Hale, it's a document editor layout. This is it. Oh good lord. Oh good lord. There is a scroll to range. I don't need that one. Scroll by. There's a scroll by. Find by scroll up and scroll down. So we go for. I think scroll up is done really stupidly, so I will go for the stupid implementation. I mean, it's not that stupid. It's actually really simple, as long as there's really limited. Well, it's not the direct 2D stuff, just calculating it was bad for you or it wasn't? Because smooth scrolling requires to if you maybe because you have the lines of the same height and you don't do the word wrapping, you can just calculate where the line is really easily on a y-axis on a screen in a document, but I don't have that information. So I don't know how most of the lines are actually tall, what the height is of them, because I'm not processing the whole document for the Unicode, because otherwise I would have to do what Sublime does, which is something I really hate about it. I mean, come on, there are ways to do it better, and I'm not sure if I have the large. I had one large document once. Temp. Debug test. Yeah, there is this one large document. Yeah, and I don't want to do that because that way I will have to calculate that when I'm loading the document. And calculating documents like this 10 megabyte, you know, Sublime does this one actually, because it's processing the whole document to the memory, and it's also calculating stuff that this minimap that I'm not really a big fan of. I mean, it might help sometimes, but usually just a mess on the screen. I don't want to actually. I don't know how well it's. Oh, it doesn't work at all. Hey, that's not very good. That's not good. Shit, that's laggy. Actually, if you will keep and I suggest you to keep the line height the same, and if you are doing are you doing the word wrapping? Yeah, so when you insert new lines, you have to go and update all the view Y positions, right? But you have the word wrapping, so you have to deal with the heights of the lines, because because obviously you have different line heights. Because once you have the line height the same, when you don't do word wrapping, then the calculating then you don't have to store the view Y. Yeah, okay, you are just wrapping the characters, okay. That makes sense for the early implementation. But then, as I'm supporting the Unicode, I don't know how the line will be tall unless I run it through the Unicode processor and I already know the font. And I don't want to bring font dependency to the document, to the core. I want to keep it in the UI. And then, well, I would bring it to the document in case it would actually speed things up or do something really good to actually help with the performance, because then it's just a stupid abstraction when you just don't want to have the dependency there. But so I don't know how the lines are tall. Most of the time I only ever process the line that you actually see, and the lines that are that contain caret. When you have multiple carets, like when you would select some, and I would do something like this. I would place multiple carets here, and I will just scroll away. I don't see the carets, but I can still edit those. I can still do the editing, and the editing requires me to know at least a bit of Unicode information. But then once you edit, the viewport scrolls back. But as you can see, it only scrolls back to the latest caret. This is the correct implementation, because only the latest caret you have created is the main one. So yeah, go over the edge and keep heights, and then you have to also, so for each request for rendering, you have to go through all the lines, calculate VY, as long as you are not keeping that as well. Because you usually either keep the height of the line or the Y position. It depends when you want to calculate the VY and how often. But yeah, so I don't know. I always only know about the lines. I know the view information about the lines. That means how are they wrapped, how tall they are, what font they use, and when the lines are on the screen. Only when you see them. Otherwise, I don't know. I just don't know what's going on there. Sublime hacks it by just loading it all to the memory and processing it all to create this minimap, I guess, or maybe to optimize something. I don't know what. Yeah, so you keep the Y position. Yeah, they're actually better, because then you can update it only when you edit, when you make a change. So the reading is then really fast, and rendering is also really fast, because you just take a look at the Y position and render from there. Yeah. So because I don't know how the lines are tall, how much screen they take, there is a bit of magic happening with how I'm really scrolling, because as long as you only know about the lines you see, you can only scroll by deltas. You only scroll by. So if you scroll down, I will just do do the calculation that how many pixels what would be the first line index, depending on how far I've scrolled, and what portion of the line I see, because you can also have a moment when you only see the portion of the top line. That's especially happening when you have like this. You only see a bit of a last line, and here you see only a portion of the first line. So for example, for this case, I will know that first line I'm rendering is line 245, and I don't know, it's 15 pixels. I'm starting with on the 15 pixel of that line. Yeah, that's what I do. So and then if you are going to scroll somewhere else, like you will go, I'm not sure if it has the scroll bar. I don't see the scroll bar on I think it's because I don't see the scroll bar at all. I don't know why it is. But I guess there is no scroll bar as well. Sublime does the same thing, I guess. Sublime must be doing the same thing because there's no scroll bar. Or maybe it's hidden just. Yeah, I can just click somewhere and I don't see the scroll bar at all. So so if you would want to do what Casey showed in one of his video on his YouTube channel, I mean his own YouTube channel, that you can actually grab the scroll bar, the handle, and you can just scroll whatever you want, wherever you want. That thing is kind of hard, because then you have to actually calculate where would you end up. You have to guess what would be the first line you would see. You cannot just go and calculate all the lines in between the jumps, between the scroll jumps, because that way you would actually create. It would take a lot of time because you have to calculate all those lines. So what I'm doing is that I'm guessing what line you would see. So it's all just the magic stuff that is only trying to mimic the real vertical scrolling. Yeah, I don't have absolute positions. I have only relative positions to the line I know. So I can do like maybe one page of scrolling without generating too much data. One page of scrolling, like a page down or page up, is something, or maybe 2 pages is something I can do. But once you are starting to jump more, that's especially happening when you have a scroll bar like this, like when I will just jump down. I cannot even do that here. But some scroll bars allow you to actually jump to the end. Here you also have to scroll. This is really fast actually. This is really great scrolling. But then it doesn't have smooth scrolling. It's just line based. Like you are always rendering from the line boundary. You never actually render half. I guess it's happening. Yeah. It should actually render the partial line on top, because I want to see the more of on the bottom. Yeah. So the first line is always integral. You always see it in a whole. So that's one of the ways to do it. But then you will always have problems with the word wrapping and stuff like that. Yeah. Essentially, yeah. I have to do that. But when you jump, when you make a big leap towards the end, for example, if you are jumping, like I can do jumping to the end of the document. Well, actually, end of the document it's not a big deal, because you know that you will show the end of the document on the bottom, the last line on the bottom, and you just go back up from there. It's not a big deal to do. But if you would jump to the middle of the document, I will just have to guess it. Like for example, one of the guesses heuristics I've used in one of the prototypes was to actually know which offset is shown first in the document. So when your scroll bar is in the middle, then I just reach the middle of the document, the offset there, and search for the line break there. And I consider that line to be a 50% line. Well, to be a line in the middle that I have to show there. And it actually works. It has some problems sometimes, but it's the best I got to actually have optimized rendering with full Unicode support, while also allowing for most of the Unicode features and most of the text flowing and layouting features. Especially the line word wrapping, when I'm only rewrapping the lines that you see. I never word wrap the whole document. And that's actually a big speed increase for the resize response, which is then not such a big use case. People do that only rarely, and they usually just maximize or minimize the window, rather restore to some other size. Okay, I will just check how much are we into stream. Good. Oh no. Okay, so I will have to leave the scrolling for later, because my dog wants to go out and I need to eat my dinner. So I will be back online in maybe 2 or 3 hours. So I will be doing then, I will be working on scrolling. Which is on smooth scrolling, that we will want to scroll through the whole document in a smooth way, using similar easing as Sublime is doing, because actually it does it really well. Well, I think here it doesn't actually do the smooth scrolling. It only does it when you jump with when you scroll with the mouse, or with the page up, page down. And I'm really not sure how much it does for the scrolling, whether between the two places there is actually the content that is really between those places, or if we will just somehow create a mirage or something like that would feel like, yeah, you have scrolled really far. I guess I will have to, we will probably record, but I think he is scrolling, because when I'm looking at the line numbers, it actually goes from the larger ones to the smallest ones. But I will perhaps record the Sublime, how he is doing this, because I guess he only shows like 2 pages from the top and then 2 pages from the bottom before I reach the end. So he's not actually rendering the whole document the whole way. Well, he even cannot, because you have limited FPS, but if you know that you have limited FPS, and then you don't need more than 30 or 60 FPS, you can actually really well calculate which portion actually you need to render during the smooth scrolling in these far distances. I think it will be really interesting to see what's actually going on in there, because it feels really great. The scrolling just feels awesome. I also don't know, yeah, it looks like he's also doing a smooth scrolling, like I can see here partial lines. Some lines are just rendered partially, so we will see. When I will be working on that in 3, maybe 4 hours maximum, I will let you know on Twitter. So thank you for being here, thank you for watching, and see you later, guys. Bye.